When Allah defends you, stay silent. Sometimes in life we face moments where the world turns against us. People begin to say things about us that are not true. They may lie, they may twist stories, they may point fingers, and we are left with a heart that is heavy, trying to figure out how to respond. But the truth is, not every battle requires your voice. There are moments where silence becomes your most powerful shield, because when the Almighty takes it upon Himself to defend you, no one can touch you. No matter how loud the world becomes, the protection of Allah silences all noise. His defense is mightier than 1,000 words. His help arrives in ways we cannot see, through doors we didn't even knock on. When He steps in, justice is served without us even lifting a finger. Throughout history, the people who were closest to their Creator understood this lesson well. They were falsely accused, attacked and ridiculed, but they remained silent because they knew who was handling their affairs. When we react to every comment, when we chase every rumor, when we try to fix every misunderstanding ourselves, we exhaust our souls. We engage in unnecessary battles that only drain our peace. But the one who learns to trust the plan of the Almighty, who lets the false accusations pass like clouds, who chooses silence when provoked, that person begins to witness miracles. The Almighty begins to fight the battles you didn't even know were brewing behind your back. He clears your name without your effort. He protects your dignity in ways you never imagined. Sometimes in life we find ourselves in situations where people speak about us without knowledge. They spread stories that are far from the truth, and they build narratives that make us look like the villain. The heart becomes heavy. The mind feels burdened, and we begin to wonder whether we should stand up and start explaining, whether we should defend ourselves in front of every person who is listening to these false words. But what we fail to realize is that the greatest strength at such moments is often found in silence. Remaining silent is not a sign of weakness, it is not an acceptance of falsehood, rather it is the calmness of someone who knows that justice is already being written. It is the composure of someone who understands that the truth does not need to scream to be heard. Silence is the shield that protects us from falling into traps set by those who wish to see us angry, agitated and frustrated. Silence preserves our dignity when the tongues of others attempt to tear it apart. Silence allows us to place our trust not in our own arguments, but in the defense that comes from the one who is all-knowing, the one who is fully aware of every hidden plot and every false accusation. When people falsely accuse you, they expect you to collapse, they expect you to panic, they expect you to rush into defending yourself because they feed off your reaction. They build their confidence on your desperation to prove yourself. But when you stay silent, when you choose to remain calm, it confuses them, it unsettles them, and it removes the control they thought they had over your emotions. Remaining silent in the face of false accusations is not about surrendering your right. It is about knowing that your right is already protected by a power far greater than your words. There are moments in life when no amount of explanation will satisfy those who have already decided to misunderstand you. They are not interested in the truth. They are interested in creating a storm around you. And when you engage with them, you allow that storm to pull you in. But when you remain silent, you watch that storm pass without allowing it to touch your peace. The world may scream, people may point fingers, but the truth has a quiet power that does not need loud voices to be known. It reveals itself in due time. When you are wrongfully accused, when people twist your words, when stories spread about you that you know are not true, the natural reaction is to feel that you must speak, you must defend, you must clarify. But sometimes the best defense is to step back and let the truth unfold without you forcing it. The one who truly believes in justice trusts that the truth is never buried forever. It rises, it shines, it clears the clouds in its own time. Your task is not to force people to see it. Your task is to remain patient, to carry yourself with dignity, and to let your silence speak louder than their words. When people attack you, they often expect you to respond immediately. They throw words at you like arrows, waiting for you to pick up your own arrows in return. But when you drop your weapons and stand silently, you show that you are not part of their battlefield. You have a greater refuge, a stronger protector, and a calmer heart. They may try to provoke you into saying something that they can use against you later. They may hope that your anger will drive you to speak hastily, to act recklessly, to expose yourself to more harm. But your silence frustrates their plans. Your silence becomes your wisdom. Your silence becomes your strength. It shows that you have placed your reliance not on yourself, but on the one who sees beyond what anyone else can see. When you are falsely accused, and you know deep inside that you have done no wrong, sometimes remaining silent allows you to witness something beautiful. The one who is in control of all affairs begins to unfold events in a way that reveals the truth without you having to push it. People begin to see with their own eyes that what was said about you was never true. Situations begin to shift in your favor without you needing to explain a single sentence. Hearts that were poisoned against you begin to realize on their own that they were misled. And this is far more powerful than any defense you could have built with your own words. Sometimes the best thing you can do when you are falsely accused is to simply live in a way that makes the accusations impossible to believe. Let your character be your voice. Let your actions be your response. Let your patience be your shield. Time will expose the truth in the most beautiful way. When people falsely accuse you, they expect you to crumble, they expect you to fall apart. But when you walk with your head held high, when you continue your journey without being distracted by their noise, you show that your trust is placed in something far greater than their opinions. It is easy to be dragged into arguments. It is easy to start justifying yourself to people who have no sincere interest in knowing the truth. But you must ask yourself, will my words fix this? Will my explanations change the hearts of those who have already chosen to believe lies? Most often the answer is no. Silence saves you from wasting your energy on those who do not deserve your time. Silence protects your peace from being stolen by unnecessary arguments. Silence elevates you to a place where the voices of those who plot against you cannot reach. The world is full of people who speak without knowledge. They hear one side of a story and they think they know it all. They jump to conclusions without asking, without verifying, without considering the harm their words may cause. If you chase every single one of them, you will spend your whole life trying to fix lies. But when you place your trust in the one who sees all, you realize that you do not need to chase anything. The truth will follow you. The truth will clear your path. The truth will arrive when the time is right. When the world speaks against you, let your silence speak to the heavens. When people try to push you into the mud with their words, let your patience raise you above their reach. When your heart feels the weight of false accusations, lift your hands and speak to the one who knows the unseen. He hears the silent tears, he knows the hidden pain, and he never allows the unjust to succeed forever. Sometimes the delay in justice is not because justice has been denied. Sometimes the delay is a test to see whether you will continue to trust the process. Will you continue to walk with dignity, or will you lower yourself to their level? Will you continue to trust in the unseen help, or will you rush into defending yourself before the right time? When people attack you and you remain silent, you are not silent because you are weak. You are silent because you are strong enough to wait for the right response. You are silent because you know that your defense is not in your words, but in your patience. You are silent because you trust that the one who created every voice is the same, one who can silence those voices when the time is right. The hearts of people are not in your control. You cannot force someone to believe you. You cannot control what others say about you, but you can control your own peace. You can choose not to carry the burden of chasing lies. You can choose not to allow the words of others to dictate your happiness. When you let go of the need to defend yourself in front of every critic, you free yourself. You begin to live with a light heart. You begin to see that the opinions of people come and go, but the support of the one who knows the truth remains constant. When you are falsely accused and you stay silent, you begin to witness how the one who controls all hearts starts to soften hearts towards you. Those who doubted you begin to question their doubts. Those who believed the lies begin to see the cracks in those lies. Those who turned away from you begin to return, not because you spoke to them, but because the one who defends you arranged matters in your favor. This is what happens when you trust in silence. This is what happens when you place your affairs in the hands of the one who never abandons the innocent. There is a calmness that comes when you realize that you do not need to explain yourself to everyone. You do not need to attend every argument you are invited to. You do not need to clarify every misunderstanding. Sometimes your silence is your protection. Sometimes your patience is your defense. Sometimes your calmness is the answer that unsettles those who try to harm you. They expect you to fight. They expect you to fall. They expect you to collapse. But when you continue to walk forward with a calm heart, you show that you are untouchable by their schemes. The truth is that those who sincerely care about you will always find their way to the truth, whether you speak or remain silent. And those who have already decided to dislike you will not change their minds, even if you spend your whole life trying to explain. So choose silence, choose dignity, choose to trust in the unseen help that arrives in ways beyond your imagination. When you let your silence speak to the heavens, you are sending a message that your trust is not in people, your trust is in the one who manages the hearts of people. You are saying that your peace is not built on the approval of people, your peace is built on your connection to the one who sees what no one else can see. Silence in the face of false accusations is one of the most powerful acts of patience. It shows that you believe in the justice that may not be immediate, but is always complete. It shows that you understand that truth does not need to fight for itself. It always rises in its own time. It shows that you value your peace more than you value winning an argument. Sometimes people speak without thinking. They repeat stories they have not verified. They pass judgment without knowing the details. If you waste your life trying to correct every story, you will find yourself trapped in a cycle of constant defense. But when you let those stories pass, when you continue to walk forward with a pure heart, when you focus on what truly matters, you begin to experience a freedom that is priceless. Silence allows you to protect your energy for the things that truly deserve your attention. Silence allows you to focus on growth, on goodness, on purpose. Silence removes the weight of trying to please people who may never be pleased. There is great wisdom in walking away from noise. There is great strength in choosing peace over argument. There is great beauty in allowing your life to be the answer to those who falsely accused you. Time will reveal the truth. Time will uncover the lies. Time will show who was sincere and who was not. When you lift your silence to the heavens, you are not lifting weakness, you are lifting patience. You are not lifting surrender, you are lifting trust. You are not lifting fear, you are lifting dignity. And in return, you receive peace that no words can offer, strength that no argument can provide, and victory that no enemy can prevent. Sometimes the loudest answer you can give to the world is your silence. Sometimes the clearest proof you can offer is your character. Sometimes the strongest statement you can make is your calmness. When the world speaks against you, let your silence speak to the heavens, and watch how the one who defends you takes care of every battle you chose not to fight. Not every battle that appears in front of you is meant to be fought. There are times in life when you will see a storm rising around you, people attacking you with their words, accusing you of things you never did, twisting your intentions, and you may feel that the only way out is to fight back. But in reality, the battles you choose not to fight are often the ones you truly win. There is a wisdom in knowing when to engage and when to walk away. There is a strength in stepping back from a confrontation that serves no purpose. There is power in silence that many people overlook. The moment you understand that your worth does not come from proving yourself to those who doubt you is the moment you free yourself from countless unnecessary struggles. The world is full of battles. Some are worth fighting because they protect your faith, your family, your dignity. But most battles in life are distractions sent to drain your energy, waste your time, and keep you away from your true path. Some battles are designed to pull you into arguments that never end, to make you spend your life defending yourself against false accusations, to make you so busy proving your innocence that you forget to live in peace. When you choose not to fight these battles, you are not running away from the truth. You are choosing to invest your energy where it matters most. Walking away from noise is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you understand that silence is sometimes your strongest weapon. Silence can destroy the plans of those who seek to harm you because they are expecting you to react. They want you to argue, they want you to lose your temper, they want you to respond in a way that will give them more to use against you. But when you choose to walk away, when you choose calmness over chaos, you frustrate their plans, you silence their noise with your peaceful silence. There is a wisdom in knowing that sometimes your silence speaks louder than your words. Sometimes your calmness is your loudest answer. Sometimes the most powerful way to win is to simply keep walking while others waste their time shouting in the background. The battles you refuse to fight are often the ones that save your heart from becoming bitter. They save your mind from becoming restless. They save your soul from drowning in anger and frustration. When you refuse to engage in unnecessary arguments, you protect your peace. When you refuse to answer every false story, you protect your focus. When you refuse to run after the approval of people, you protect your dignity. People will always have something to say. No matter how pure your heart is, no matter how sincere your intentions are, no matter how kind your actions are, there will always be someone who misunderstands you, someone who speaks against you, someone who builds stories about you. If you keep fighting every one of these battles, you will lose yourself along the way. You will become exhausted trying to fix what was never broken. You will become tired trying to explain yourself to those who do not want to understand. Some battles are not for you to fight. Some battles are designed to be won by silence, by patience, by trust in the unseen protection that is always surrounding you. There is peace in walking away from arguments that bring no benefit. There is wisdom in walking away from people who are committed to misunderstanding you. There is strength in walking away from situations that pull you into darkness. Not every fight deserves your attention. Not every voice deserves your reply. Not every accusation deserves your energy. Some things are better left unanswered because time will reveal the truth. Some words are better ignored because silence will protect your heart. Some people are better left behind because your journey requires you to keep moving forward. Walking away is not defeat. It is a conscious decision to prioritize your peace over their noise. It is a conscious choice to protect your soul from being dragged into a war that was never meant for you. The strongest people are not those who win the loudest arguments. The strongest people are those who know when to step back, when to protect their peace, and when to trust that the battles that matter are being handled in a way far better than they could ever manage themselves. Silence attracts the support of the most powerful. When you stay silent in the face of harm, you are not alone. There is a power that surrounds you, a protection that covers you, a strength that holds you firm. When you choose silence over shouting, you open the door for unseen help to arrive. When you choose calmness over anger, you allow blessings to enter where they would have been blocked by your own rage. Silence is not an empty response. Silence is a sign that you are being guarded by something far greater than your own ability to speak. Silence is a declaration that you trust in a protection that is not visible to the human eye, but it is more real than the walls around you. The support that comes from choosing silence is not delayed, it is always present. Sometimes you only see it later when the plans of those who plotted against you begin to fall apart on their own, when the truth begins to shine without your effort, when the people who once doubted you start to realize that you were right all along. When you choose to remain silent, you may feel that you are letting things go unanswered, but what you are actually doing is allowing the best answer to arrive at the best time. The answer that comes from calmness, from dignity, from patience, carries a power that angry words can never carry. When you remain silent, your patience calls upon a support that words cannot summon. The power that comes to your side when you choose silence is the kind of power that changes hearts, that shifts situations, that turns harm into protection, that replaces loss with unexpected blessings. Silence is not just about avoiding noise. It is about attracting the type of help that cannot be seen but is always present. Silence in the face of harm brings with it a deep sense of trust. It is a trust that says, even if the world is speaking against me, I know that I am not alone. Even if people accuse me, I know that the truth is being protected. Even if lies spread about me, I know that the reality is already known by the one who matters most. Silence invites calmness into your life. It invites clarity into your thoughts. It invites stability into your emotions. When you do not feel the need to respond to every word, you begin to free your heart from the weight of carrying other people's opinions. When you no longer chase explanations, you begin to see how light life becomes. When you trust that your silence is not empty, you begin to witness how beautifully things start to unfold. Walking away from battles that are not yours does not mean you are weak. It means you are wise. It means you know where to place your energy. It means you understand that peace is far more valuable than winning an argument. It means you choose to live with dignity rather than wasting your life trying to prove yourself to those who will never truly see you. There will always be people who speak without knowledge. There will always be people who pass judgment without asking. There will always be people who assume without understanding. But you do not have to answer to all of them. You do not have to lower yourself to their level. You do not have to allow their words to pull you into their world of noise. Silence can build a wall between you and the harm they wish to bring into your life. Silence can become a shield that protects your heart from becoming bitter, from becoming angry, from becoming restless. Walking away from noise is one of the most liberating decisions you can ever make. It means you are not controlled by the opinions of people. It means you are not enslaved to what others say about you. It means you have chosen a higher path, a path of peace, a path of trust, a path of calmness. When you walk away from noise, you begin to hear what truly matters. You begin to focus on what truly deserves your attention. You begin to see the blessings that were hidden behind the noise. When you stop chasing every false accusation, you begin to witness how the truth quietly takes its place without your effort. When you stop answering every critic, you begin to experience a peace that no argument can ever give you. When you walk away from noise, you begin to attract the kind of life that is filled with purpose, with focus, with inner strength. Silence is not about losing your voice. Silence is about choosing where your voice will have the most impact. Silence is about choosing not to waste your words on those who do not wish to hear them. The world will continue to speak, people will continue to judge, stories will continue to spread, but you do not have to be part of that cycle. You can choose to walk a different path. You can choose to walk the path of calmness. You can choose to walk the path of wisdom. You can choose to walk the path of trusting that silence is sometimes your greatest response. Silence does not mean you accept falsehood. Silence means you trust that the truth is never hidden forever. Silence does not mean you agree with lies. Silence means you believe that time will uncover what is real. Silence does not mean you are weak. Silence means you are wise enough to know that not every battle deserves your attention. Walking away from noise is walking towards peace. Walking away from unnecessary arguments is walking towards clarity. Walking away from those who are committed to misunderstanding you is walking towards a life of freedom. The weight that is lifted when you stop trying to prove yourself to everyone is a weight that many people carry for no reason. When you walk away from noise, you begin to understand what truly matters in life. You begin to focus on your growth, your purpose, your connection with the one who knows the truth of your heart. You begin to experience a calmness that is rare in a world full of noise. Sometimes people will try to pull you back into their arguments. They will provoke you. They will throw words at you, hoping you will catch them and throw words back. But when you stay silent, you refuse to play their game. When you stay silent, you show that you are walking a higher path. When you stay silent, you allow your dignity to speak for you. Silence does not need an introduction. Silence does not need an explanation. Silence holds a power that is seen in the calmness of your face, in the steadiness of your walk, in the peacefulness of your heart. Choosing silence is not an easy choice. It takes great strength. It takes patience. It takes trust. But it brings with it a peace that no argument can offer. It brings with it a clarity that no explanation can provide. It brings with it a strength that no shouting can achieve. When you walk away from noise, you begin to walk towards a life that is filled with quiet victories, with peaceful moments, with steady growth. You begin to live a life where your energy is spent on things that truly matter. You begin to see how much more you can achieve when you stop wasting your time on things that add no value to your life. The strongest people are not those who speak the loudest. The strongest people are those who know when to be silent. The strongest people are not those who win every argument. The strongest people are those who know which arguments are not worth their time. The strongest people are not those who fight every battle. The strongest people are those who know which battles are not meant to be fought. Walking away from noise is walking towards a life where your peace is protected, where your heart is light, where your focus is sharp, and where your energy is spent on building, not destroying. The battles you do not fight are sometimes the battles you truly win. The words you do not speak are sometimes the answers that speak the loudest. The noise you walk away from is sometimes the greatest protection you can give to your heart. When you walk away from noise, you begin to understand that your peace is far more valuable than their attention. Your silence is far more powerful than their accusations. Your calmness is far more impactful than their noise. Be calm, your defender never sleeps. In life, we often find ourselves in situations where people wrong us, where lies are spread about us, where harm is intended against us, and we start to panic, we become restless. We begin to feel that we are alone in this battle. But the truth is, you are never alone. Your defender is awake when you are asleep. Your protector is guarding you when you don't even realize the danger around you. The one who knows the secrets of the hearts and the hidden plots behind closed doors is fully aware of everything taking place in your life. There is no need to panic. There is no need to rush into defending yourself. There is no need to be consumed by worry, because your defender never forgets, never misses anything, and never abandons those who place their trust in him. Sometimes we think that justice must arrive immediately. We want the world to see the truth right now. We want those who accuse us to be exposed without delay. But patience is a sign of trust. Being calm is a reflection of faith. Staying silent when you know you are protected is a testimony that you understand where your help truly comes from. The heart that trusts its defender does not panic when the world speaks against it. The soul that knows it is guarded from above does not become restless when people try to break it from below. Be calm, because no falsehood escapes the knowledge of the one who defends you. No plan against you is hidden from the one who protects you. No injustice passes by unnoticed. Sometimes your patience is the strongest weapon you hold. Sometimes your calmness is the sharpest response you can offer. When people wrong you and you stay calm, you are declaring that you are not worried about their power, because you know who truly holds power. When people attack you and you stay calm, you are showing that you trust in the justice that may not be immediate but is always perfect. Sometimes the delay you experience is a lesson. It teaches you to lean upon the unseen help that is always present. Sometimes the delay is there to elevate you, to purify you, to strengthen your heart. When you rush to fix things yourself, you may miss the beauty of watching your defender clear your path in ways you could never arrange. Be calm. Your defender never sleeps, never rests, never takes his attention away from you, even for a moment. There is great peace in knowing that the one who defends you does not grow tired. You may feel exhausted, but your protection never weakens. You may feel heavy, but your safety is firmly established. The harm people intend against you is never outside the knowledge of your defender. The whispers, the meetings, the plots, the accusations, all of them are seen, heard, and recorded. Nothing escapes the knowledge of the one who defends you. When you are calm, you are sending a message that you trust the process, even if you don't understand the timing. When you are calm, you are showing that you believe in the perfect justice that is never rushed, but always arrives exactly when it should. The world may look at you and wonder why you are not fighting back, why you are not shouting, why you are not explaining yourself, but they do not understand that your calmness is not silence. It is a conversation with the heavens. It is a call that says, I have surrendered my affairs to the one who knows best. There is a beauty in allowing the one who defends you to take the lead. There is wisdom in stepping back and allowing your protector to arrange the unfolding of events. The heart that is calm in the middle of a storm is the heart that has understood the power of true reliance. When you are calm, you begin to see things differently. You begin to notice the doors that are quietly opening for you. You begin to see how the people who intended harm for you end up moving you towards blessings you did not expect. You begin to understand that what was closed in front of you was only meant to guide you to something better. When you panic, you may miss these subtle signs. But when you remain calm, you are able to see that sometimes your enemies become the very people who push you towards your greatest victories without realizing it. The calm heart witnesses the unfolding of a plan far greater than anything you could have written for yourself. The calm heart is able to stand strong while the noise surrounds it. The calm heart knows that its defender is fully in control, and there is no power that can overcome that protection. Let the truth unfold without you forcing it. Sometimes, the more you try to chase lies to correct them, the more you become trapped in endless explanations. Sometimes, the more you try to force people to understand you, the more you find yourself exhausted and heartbroken. You are not responsible for opening every closed mind. You are not responsible for changing every hardened heart. Your responsibility is to live with integrity, to walk with dignity, to continue your journey without being weighed down by the false words of others. When you let the truth unfold without you forcing it, you begin to experience the beauty of divine timing. You begin to see that the truth does not need you to defend it with desperation. The truth rises on its own. The truth finds its place without your panic. Sometimes the people who misunderstand you today will come to realize your sincerity tomorrow, not because you explain, but because life showed them. Sometimes the people who accuse you today will become the ones who support you tomorrow, not because you convince them, but because circumstances reveal the reality on their own. There is wisdom in being silent while the truth takes its course. There is wisdom in being patient while clarity arrives. There is wisdom in stepping aside while your defender arranges the exposure of lies and the unveiling of reality. When you let the truth unfold without you forcing it, you begin to understand that some matters resolve themselves far more beautifully when you are not trying to control every detail. The more you push to fix everything, the more tangled things may become. But when you trust the unfolding, when you walk with patience, when you leave space for your defender to handle what you cannot, you begin to see that the most complicated situations can unravel in the simplest ways. Sometimes people try to trap you with their words. They create stories, they build accusations, they spread falsehood, hoping you will panic and say something that will be used against you later. But when you let the truth unfold on its own, you protect yourself from falling into these traps. Your silence is your wisdom. Your patience is your protection. Your calmness is your defense. You do not need to respond to every lie. You do not need to rush to correct every false story. When you remain calm, you are giving space for the truth to shine without interference. Sometimes the most powerful response is to simply continue doing what you are doing, to continue living with honesty, to continue walking your path while the lies dissolve on their own. When you force the truth, you may bring more harm than good. When you rush to defend yourself without thinking, you may open doors to confusion that were never there before. But when you trust the process, when you remain patient, when you understand that the truth does not need to shout to be heard, you begin to walk with a peaceful heart. The truth has a way of reaching those who need to see it. The truth has a way of surfacing when the time is right. The truth has a way of finding its place even if the world tries to bury it. When you let the truth unfold without you forcing it, you begin to witness how beautifully things can work out when you are not trying to control every step. You begin to see that sometimes what you thought was a delay was actually a preparation. Sometimes what you thought was a setback was actually a redirection. Sometimes what you thought was a loss was actually a protection. The calm heart is able to see the wisdom in these moments. Be calm. Your defender never sleeps, never forgets, never misses a moment. The harm that was planned against you is already being handled. The falsehood that was spoken about you is already being corrected in ways you cannot see. The justice you are waiting for is already unfolding. There is no need to panic. There is no need to be restless. There is no need to force what will happen at the right time. Let the truth unfold without you forcing it. Let the reality come to light without you chasing it. Let the wisdom of divine timing guide your heart to peace. There is great power in walking calmly while the world expects you to panic. There is great strength in remaining silent while the world expects you to shout. There is great beauty in trusting that the truth will rise, even if it seems hidden for a while. Sometimes when you try to force people to see your sincerity, you end up looking desperate. When you chase every rumor, you end up looking weak. But when you remain calm, when you allow your character to speak, when you let your actions be your voice, you attract respect without needing to demand it. The people who matter will see the truth. The hearts that are sincere will find their way to you. The people who were misled will come to realize the reality in their own time. When you let the truth unfold without you forcing it, you allow life to arrange matters in the most beautiful way. Being calm does not mean you accept falsehood. Being calm does not mean you ignore injustice. Being calm means you trust that justice will be served, that the truth will be known, and that you are protected by the one who never allows falsehood to prevail forever. The calm heart sleeps peacefully, even when surrounded by storms. The calm heart smiles, even when faced with accusations. The calm heart walks forward even when the world tries to pull it back. The calm heart knows that the most powerful defender is fully awake, fully aware, fully capable, and never late. The noise of the world can sometimes be so overwhelming that it drowns the peace of your heart. Every day people speak, people judge, people criticize, and people expect you to respond to everything they say. But walking away from that noise is not an act of weakness. It is one of the strongest decisions you can make. When you choose to walk away from noise, you are choosing to protect your peace, to guard your heart, to prioritize your well-being over the endless opinions that surround you. Not every voice deserves your attention. Not every criticism deserves your energy. And not every argument deserves your response. The world is full of people who will misunderstand you on purpose, people who are not interested in the truth, but rather in seeing you fall into the trap of defending yourself endlessly. If you try to respond to every voice, you will soon lose yourself in the noise. Your energy will be drained, your mind will be consumed, and your heart will become restless. Walking away from noise is a conscious decision to step into peace. It is a decision to protect your energy for things that matter. It is a decision to leave behind what does not contribute to your growth, your purpose, your journey. When you walk away from the noise, you are walking towards peace. You are walking towards calmness. You are walking towards clarity. The noise of the world will never stop. People will always talk. Stories will always spread. Critics will always find something to say. But you do not need to attend every argument you are invited to. You do not need to explain yourself to people who have already decided to judge you. You do not need to correct every false assumption made about you. Some things are better left unanswered because silence carries a power that words cannot match. When you walk away from noise, you are not running from the truth, you are running towards your peace. You are choosing not to let the voices of people dictate your happiness. You are choosing to live a life that is guided by calmness, not by chaos. You are choosing to rise above the noise and live with dignity. The noise will call you, it will try to pull you back. It will try to convince you that you must respond, that you must fight, that you must defend. But you must remember that not every battle is yours to fight, not every conversation is yours to engage in, and not every critic is worth your time. Walking away from noise is one of the greatest strengths a person can develop. It is easy to speak, it is easy to argue, it is easy to defend yourself constantly. But it takes real strength to remain silent, to walk away, to continue your journey without being shaken by what people say. Your peace is too valuable to be placed in the hands of those who do not care about your well-being. Your heart is too precious to be disturbed by every careless word that is spoken about you. Your time is too important to be wasted on arguments that have no end. When you walk away from noise, you begin to hear what really matters. You begin to hear the voice of peace within you. You begin to hear the calmness that guides you towards wisdom. You begin to hear the reminders that lift you up when the noise tries to bring you down. The world is full of noise, but you do not have to live in that noise. You can choose a life of peace. You can choose a life of clarity. You can choose a life where your energy is spent on building, not on arguing, on growing, not on defending, on moving forward, not on looking back. Walking away from noise is walking towards peace. When you protect your peace, you protect your mind from being consumed by negativity. You protect your heart from becoming bitter. You protect your soul from becoming restless. When you choose peace over noise, you begin to experience a different kind of strength. You begin to realize that you do not need to speak to prove your worth. You do not need to explain to prove your sincerity. You do not need to defend to prove your innocence. Sometimes your silence is your loudest proof. Sometimes your calmness is your strongest evidence. Sometimes your life itself is the answer to those who accuse you. Walking away from noise is not about avoiding reality. It is about choosing which realities deserve your attention. It is about focusing on what matters, on what benefits you, on what builds your character. You will meet people who misunderstand you, who misjudge you, who speak about you without knowing you, but you must not allow their words to pull you into their world. You must not allow their opinions to control your emotions. You must not allow their accusations to dictate your path. Walking away from noise is walking towards a life of dignity. It is walking towards a life where your focus is on your growth, your development, your peace. The noise may continue, but you will no longer hear it because you have chosen to walk away. When you are silent, you are heard by the one who matters most. The people may not hear your silence, but your silence is not empty. It is filled with powerful prayers. It is filled with silent conversations with your defender. It is filled with trust that your situation is being handled in ways far beyond what you can see. When you are silent, you are not alone. You are turning to the one who hears the cries of the silent, who knows the pain that is not spoken, who sees the tears that do not fall. Your silence is not ignored. It is seen, it is heard. It is answered in ways that words can never achieve. When you are silent, you are not defeated. You are strong enough to leave the matter to the one who knows the truth. You are wise enough to understand that not every response must come from your tongue. Some responses are written in the way events unfold. Some responses are written in the way people's hearts begin to change. Some responses are written in the way the truth slowly reveals itself over time. When you are silent, you are heard by the one who can change hearts, who can open minds, who can arrange situations in your favor without you having to utter a single word. The power of your silence is that it shifts the focus from people to the one who controls all people. It moves the burden from your shoulders to the shoulders of the one who never gets tired. It transfers the weight from your heart to the one who can carry the heaviest burdens with ease. Your silence is a conversation with the one who matters most. When you are silent, you are saying that you trust in the unseen help that is already on its way. When you are silent, you are saying that you are not desperate for the approval of people. When you are silent, you are saying that you value your peace more than you value winning an argument. People may not understand your silence, but you know that your silence is a prayer, a form of reliance, a sign of trust. When you choose silence, you choose wisdom. When you choose silence, you choose peace. When you choose silence, you choose to place your situation in hands far more capable than yours. Sometimes the people who speak against you are waiting for your reaction. They are hoping you will respond in anger. They are hoping you will speak hastily so they can find more reasons to accuse you. But when you remain silent, you confuse them. You take away their power. You show them that you are not controlled by their words. You show them that you are walking a different path, a path of calmness, a path of trust, a path of wisdom. When you are silent, you allow time to do what your words cannot do. You allow life to unfold in a way that will expose falsehood without your effort. You allow the truth to rise in its own beautiful time. Your silence is not a loss. It is a powerful shield that protects your heart. It is a powerful shield that preserves your peace. It is a powerful shield that guards your dignity. When you are silent, you are choosing not to lower yourself to the level of those who speak without knowledge. You are choosing not to give your energy to people who do not deserve it. You are choosing not to invest your time in arguments that have no end. Your silence is a sign that you understand the value of your time, the value of your energy, the value of your peace. When you are silent, you are heard by the one who can open the doors that are closed in front of you. When you are silent, you are heard by the one who can turn hearts in your favor. When you are silent, you are heard by the one who can change the course of events in ways you never imagined. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is a bridge that connects your heart to the one who matters most. Silence is a door that opens to the greatest support you can ever receive. Silence is a pathway to inner peace that cannot be shaken by the noise of the world. Sometimes people will misunderstand your silence. They may think you are defeated. They may think you are weak. They may think you have nothing to say. But you know that your silence is not because you have no words. Your silence is because you have chosen to speak to the one who truly matters. Your silence is because you have chosen to let your life, your actions, your character speak louder than your words ever could. Your silence is because you have placed your trust in a protection that words cannot secure. When you are silent, you begin to focus on what truly matters. You begin to focus on your growth. You begin to focus on your purpose. You begin to focus on your journey. You no longer waste your time chasing rumors. You no longer waste your time explaining yourself to people who have no interest in knowing the truth. You no longer waste your time fighting battles that are not yours to fight. Your silence frees you. Your silence empowers you. Your silence brings you closer to peace. The people who are sincere will see your silence and understand. The people who care will see your silence and trust you. The people who truly know you will see your silence and respect you. You do not need to speak for everyone. You do not need to explain yourself to the world. You only need to remain true to your path, to continue walking with dignity, to continue building your life with purpose. When you are silent, you are heard by the one who answers prayers. When you are silent, you are heard by the one who knows your pain even before you express it. When you are silent, you are heard by the one who never ignores the cries of the silent hearts. Silence is a refuge. Silence is a strength. Silence is a reminder that you do not walk alone. There will always be noise. There will always be voices. There will always be people who misunderstand you. But you can choose to walk away from that noise. You can choose to walk towards peace. You can choose to walk towards calmness. And when you are silent, you will find that you are not unheard. You are being heard by the one who truly matters. Your silence is your connection to your greatest source of strength, of help, of peace. When you choose silence, you choose to rise above the noise. You choose to protect your peace. You choose to trust that the truth will always find its way without you needing to shout. When Allah defends you, even your enemies become your helpers without realizing it. Even those who plan your downfall accidentally pave the road to your success. Even those who try to block your blessings end up pushing you towards them. So stay silent. Let them talk. Let them laugh. Let them plan. Your Creator has already written your protection, your elevation, your victory. Trust Him. Watch how He handles what you cannot. Sometimes His defense arrives in the most unexpected ways. Sometimes the truth unfolds so beautifully that you realize your silence was the greatest statement you ever made. Stay silent and let the Almighty show you the power of His defense.